Traditional minced beef, potato and onion pie. Yes, that's what I'm going to be doing today, and welcome back to my kitchen. It's Rog here. Well, first off we're going to be making the pastry to go in the pie, and I'm going to be making it in this. Yes, it's a food processor and they make great pastry, they really do. For a start, you haven't got warm hands around the pastry and you need to keep the pastry nice and cool. It does it perfectly, as long as you pulse it a little bit, add all your ingredients in the right order, not that there's many ingredients obviously. So, hope you enjoy this video. Please stay with me, watch it right to the end, and don't forget, subscribe to my channel and hit that little bell, and you'll see all of my videos in the future and all of those ones that I've done in the past. Okay, let's crack on. So we make a start by taking our flour. This is plain flour, 300 grams, and I'm going to put this into a food processor. So in that goes, and I'm going to follow that with 75 grams of butter and 75 grams of lard. I find this makes a really nice pastry, this mix. So in that goes, and a hefty pinch of salt. This is not so noticeable, but it really does add to the flavour. So on with the lid, then we can switch on our machine and off we go. I like to pulse it a little bit at first before giving it a full mix, and when you've done that it starts to crumble like this, and then we can add some water, icy cold water. We like to keep everything really cold, so we put this in a little drop at a time until you get it to the right consistency, which is like this. I'm sorry it's a little bit blurry guys, I think I was a little bit too close to my camera there. So that's done, and onto a board we go with some flour. Turn out the pastry, and what we need to do is bring this pastry all together, cover it with cling film and put it to one side to rest. So in my pan I've got some lovely onions sautéing down here, to which I'm going to add the minced beef and break this up with a fork. I find that's the easiest way to do it. When that's nicely done, I'm going to add some chopped up garlic, finely chopped up garlic, 2 cloves. We'll put that in there. Then I'm going to add some brown sauce and some good old Liam Perry's Worcestershire sauce, in that goes. And this is my little touch, a drop of soy sauce, not too much, just about a spoonful, and some seasoning, only pepper, we don't need anything else. Then we go with 2 tablespoons of tomato puree, gives the whole meal a lot more depth, and then we go with a ½ litre of stock. Bring this all together to incorporate these magnificent, beautiful flavours. Oh, look at that, guys, if only you could smell it. Then we go in with our potatoes, peeled and chopped. Give this all a mix together, and then we can leave that to cook. Add a little bit more water if it starts to get dry. Meanwhile, on a board, we're going to put some flour and our rested pastry. Now we want to cut about 1/3 off of that. Tell you why, makes sense. You're going to need more for the base of the pie than you are for the top, because you've got the depth of the tin to contend with. We're going to roll this out nicely and then put it over our tin. Now this looks a bit rough, doesn't it? Well, actually it does. But you can patch this up with some spare pastry, because nobody's going to see that, are they? They're just going to be enjoying eating it. Tidy that all up around the edges, and then you end up with this. So it's time to fill our pastry case. In we go with all our delicious filling. It's all been cooked right through. And now it's time to put on the lid. Oh, this is my favourite part. Just cutting that pastry off round the tin. So easy. Now I'm going to give this a quick egg wash. You can use milk if you like, but I'd rather use egg. I think it gives a much browner, crispier look to the whole pie. So I'm going to go over it nicely with that. Then go around the whole pie with a fork. This just tidies up the edges, gives it that professional look. And of course I'm left over with some little strips, so I'm going to cut those nice and thinly and just make a quick bit of lattice work over the top. You don't need to do this, but it does make it look better. And of course we're going to egg wash those as well. There we go. Look at that, ready for the oven. So off it goes into the oven, gas mark 7 for about 30 minutes. And this is what you end up with. Now you got to tell me, doesn't that look brilliant? I can't wait to taste test this. Oh wow, that's going to go down so well tonight. So here we go, cut our first piece. I'm going to get about 6 portions out of this pie. Just loosen it up a little bit around the edges and then we're ready to serve up. Oh, yummy. So, here's our plate. I'm going to serve this up with some steamed broccoli. We don't want anything too fancy with the vegetables because it's pie night tonight. And of course you can't have pie without some delicious beef gravy. Ooh, ooh.